Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to another StarCraft 2 broadcast. My name is Anaris, and today we're going to be watching game number 3 from the 4-part series between OGS, the STC, spawning as the Blue Terran in the 3 o'clock position. His opponent is going to be none other than Select as the Red Terran in the 9 o'clock position. The map is Lost Temple, and this map, I'll tell you what, has actually changed so much over the years. If you look in the video description box, you will see a link to one of the original versions of Lost Temple. This is from StarCraft 1, and you'll notice there's quite a few changes. You'll notice that these minerals are over here, and this was the expansion, this was the main base, and you were able to siege the entrance to the main base from right here. So pretty interesting stuff there. And one thing I do want to point out, OGS, the STC, is a tiny bit behind. You could see 23 to 19 right there. Because what he did was, instead of having his SCV out here ready to build at 100 minerals, he waited until he had about 110 minerals and then sent it out. So we'll see if that delay snowballs into something bigger here. We're still pretty early, and he should be able to keep up. I mean, he is definitely a very skilled player, so we will keep an eye on that. We can see both players are going fairly similar openers right now. There goes the gas for Select. And let's see, any gas coming up just yet for the Terran player over here? Yes, it looks like he's going down one SCV later. Let's look at the worker count right now. You can see it is 13-13 even. There goes the first scout for Select. Gonna check out the closest position right there. Sees that there is nobody. Let's see, the STC actually has not scouted yet. He's a little bit delayed in that. We do see the SCV that is building the barracks right now is rallied out to the Xel'Naga Watchtower, so it's very likely he is going to be scouting there. So we'll keep an eye on that. We'll see if he actually sees his opponent's SCV there. That may influence where he decides to go. Looks like he is paying attention to it there. He saw the SCV. So now he is going to go heading straight across the map, it looks like, where he will find his opponent right off the bat. Good stuff there. Unfortunately for him, this Marine was not able to stop this SCV from getting up to the top of the ramp here. That being said, if you look right here, Select already has one Marine down at the base of the ramp ready to engage the scouting SCV, which looks like is going to take place here. Now, this is crucial. The reason being, Select, you can see right here, is throwing down a factory, and he does not want his opponent to know that, so he's keeping his Marines way out in front of his base, so that way the STC simply cannot scout him. So he has really, right now, no idea what's going on in his opponent's base, and that is exactly the way Select wants it to be. Keeping a couple Marines down here at the base of the ramp, bringing back his SCV, probably just send it back to work. You see it's pretty dinged up right now, not that big of a deal. The STC does have another SCV. God, say that 5 times fast, man. STCs, SCV, ST... I'm probably going to say STDs at some point. I'm just terrible like that. Command Center is going down for the STC. This is going to be kind of interesting here. He is building appropriately to defend it, however. He's getting a second barracks. You see he's running off of one geyser right now. That's just enough to get this reactor going, maybe get some Marine upgrades. But what he wants to do right now is basically get as much out as possible. Even if it's cheap units like the Marines, their Marines are very, very high damage units, especially considering at what point in the game you can get them. 6 damage per shot, I think it's 0.86 attack speed. So very powerful units, and if you can get a bunch of those out early to defend your fast expansion, you will be good to go. Now we'll have to see if what Select is going to do here. We do see that he has a Hellion on the way, as well as the Infernal Pre-Igniter upgrade. You can see it's going to increase the Hellion's flamethrower damage to give 10 additional damage to light units. This could be very devastating for the STC, considering what he is going right now, which is just straight up Marines. Really, it's all going to come down to positioning, placement, just where the encounter happens. If the Marines are able to catch what I'm guessing is going to be the dropship, dropping the Hellions in the middle of the base, then it will not be nearly as damaging as if the Hellions are landed in the base and are able to get some good lined up shots on those Marines. 2 Hellions are complete. Dropship is moving out here. 3rd Hellion is on the way right now. Can expect to see that maybe meet up with the rest of the forces. It looks like this one is going to be pulled off of the Xel'Naga Watchtower, however. Now, if you look at the STC, he has quite a few Marines out here, and I think he actually just scanned his opponent a second ago. So he saw the buildings You see a drop's getting ready to come here. He saw these buildings. He saw nothing was building at them. So he's probably thinking something kind of fishy's going on. So you see he's bringing his forces back into his base right there, assuming that a drop is going to come. Very good observation on the part of the STC. As you can see, he's able to catch these Hellions completely off guard there. Hellions are getting a couple free kills, but not before going down. He's already lost 2 of them, and this one right here has 1 kill, now 2. That attack certainly, that was just not very effective. That was just good observation on the part of the STC right there. Like I said, he saw the structures. He knows there's a tech lab there on the factory. There was nothing at the starport. It wasn't building anything. So he had to assume that something had already been done, that, you know, whatever Select was going to do with that building had already been done, and he needed to be on the defensive. So we see right here, there's one more Hellion coming in, and oh man, look at that. He actually picked it up, saved it at the last second, is counterattacking, but oh, look at that micro, man. That is great stuff. That Marine is shooting the dropship, and every time the dropship, or every time the Marine shot the dropship, he dropped the Hellion down, got a free shot, and loaded it back up. Looks like the action's going to be taking place over here now, where Marines and a Marauder are going to be damaging this command center. I do think it will go down. Yes, it looks like it was canceled at the last second there. Good stuff. 1 siege tank is in position here. A bunch of SCVs are here to block the Marines from getting to the top of the ramp, not letting the SCC have vision of the high ground, therefore saving the siege tank, which probably would come under a lot of fire there. Siege mode is up, and boom, right there. Several Marines do go down, and the rest of them, look at the hit points. 1, 4, and can't click that. Stupid bar, go away. Screw it. Okay, so it's very low. We'll just assume that it's low, because I don't feel like chasing a stim Marine across the map for 5 minutes. Oh, but look at that Hellion coming in there. Oh, it was even repaired by the SCV and just could not bring those Marines down. I cannot believe that those guys actually lived. Can you... Oh, man, that is just luck right there. Sheer luck. That's all it is. Dropship is heading out, 2 siege tanks in it. Siege mode is now complete, so this could actually put a lot of pressure on this expansion. Not quite saturated. We'll have to see how this is handled here. I think at most he may lose 1 or 2 SCVs before just bringing them back off the line. He can get a dropship and react with a drop infantry on top of the siege tanks if that's required. So certainly does have an option dealing with that. Looks like he's a little bit delayed there. Siege tanks are taking a position on top of the ledge, very, very, very far away from the actual cliff there, using the medevac to spot it. Yep, 2 SCVs took some damage, but, you know, you see this siege tank is the one from the ledge. No, yeah, it was one from the ledge. This is a different one right here. Can tell by the kill count there. And so the SCVs have come back now to the ledge or to the main base here. You know, really, this is going to be hurting him a little bit economically, but it's not that bad. We can see right here that he is a little bit behind his opponent, but not a huge amount. That definitely you know, a harvester discrepancy here, 39 to 26. So, you know, he can make up for it easily. And sure enough, you know, there it is. You see he's good to go. So that drop pretty much, well, it really didn't establish a whole lot. He almost lost the medevac, actually, and he lost 1 siege tank. We do have a Banshee coming in here from Select, able to take out 1 SCV. Looks like it might get 2 there. Marines are coming in here. Very low hit point, though. Look at that. 3 kills right there on the Marines. There's a 4th. And now oh man, we're up to 7 now. Might get 8. Missile turret is going up. This could be a lot of trouble for Select if he does not kill the SCV building that. Looks like he's actually going to be driven off there by the scan. More SCVs are getting picked off here. Oh man, turret is up. So that expansion is pretty much safe for the moment, as now we can look at units lost, and we can see that even though Select has lost lesser in terms of quantity, he has definitely lost a lot in terms of resources here. So we'll have to see if Select can hold on to this game right now. I would say right now he's a slight disadvantage just because of the fact that he's focused on teching up so much. He just really doesn't have the huge standing army that his opponent does, and also for the production power, which right now the STC is taking advantage of the fact that he has a little bit more maneuverability with the dropships coming in here, trying to do some damage in the back of Select's base. There goes the medevac, so this is not going to be going anywhere. Oh man, he actually was able to kill the defending forces. Siege tank is sieged up just outside of range. You can see the little circle right there. There's the Banshee coming in to finish that off, and I think the depot actually might burn. No, he's repairing it there. The STC might be doing another drop here at the top of the ramp, where there is one siege tank. I don't know. Yeah, it looks like he is going to do that. Marauder dropping down first, going to take the brunt of the damage. More siege tanks are sieging up out here in the front defense line. Oh, but all the SCVs are coming off to repair. Even the mules, which are almost dead anyway, so it's not like they really make a difference. Select does have a good number of Banshees here. A couple of them are very low on health, and there is a scan that's going to help out a good bit with that. Still the STC is trying to put some more pressure on this expansion. Right now, like I said, his production power is pretty darn good, man. He is going to be able to keep up attacks like this for as long as he wants to. Look at that. He's got 5 barracks right there. He's got 2 of them with reactors. So he can still pump out a lot of Marines. He can switch to Vikings really quick, which you can see he's doing right now. Going to try to get out a few of those, at least enough to deal with the Banshees here. And we do have a Raven coming down the line for Select, and also the STC has a whole slew of stuff on the way. You can see infantry level 1, and just a whole bunch of junk. But we got a pretty nasty drop coming over here for the STC. Got 2 drop ships, and we got, let's see, Marauders and Marines. So this one's just loaded up on Marauders there. And looking at the expansion, like I said, man, this is very saturated, looking good. SCVs are coming back. Here's another drop in the back of the Terran base. There is nothing to respond to this whatsoever. Couple Banshees are making their way over here, but they got to wait up for the rest of the forces, or else they're just going to die super quick. 1 scan, and that's going to be it. So the STC able to come in here didn't quite do as much damage as the first drop. I think that Select, of course, he realized just how much damage those drops can do. So he really needed to make sure he responded with the appropriate force, not letting his forces trickle in, but rather just go in with one big ball and deal with it. Might have another drop here from the STC. Looks like you got a couple siege tanks and Marauders too. Got a Banshee hanging out in the back here. May just be a distraction. Not really going to accomplish a whole lot though. He's got a turret back here, and sure enough, that Banshee is going to engage the turret. Oh no! You totally could have saved that Banshee. That makes me sad. I'm a very sad panda right now. Select throwing down a auto turret over here, trying to drive away the siege tanks. Obviously, the siege tanks can just outrange the turret. Vikings as well are here to deal with any Banshees, and possibly shoot down any Vikings or Banshees that try to get vision of the high ground, which you can see you've just got scans going out everywhere right now. Siege tanks are trying to get in position. Select might lose this one. I think he will. Yes, he does. And then the STC loses this one to Marines, actually. Actually, no, I might have lost that. I think the Marines were shooting at the Vikings. And there's 2 siege tanks down here. Oh, but this one is going to be in a lot of trouble if Select is able to get the high ground vision. Yes, there it goes right there. So that attack is thwarted. No more drops going on right this very second. So it looks like we are going to see just a lull in the action here. So this has been a pretty interesting game. Although I will have to say that getting that early expansion has worked out in favor of the STC. He was able to hold on to it the entire time with those early tier units, got those Marines with the upgrades, the reactor to get the quantity that he needed to keep on putting pressure on his opponent, not really allowing him to build up a significant force. You know, Select has teched up, he got those Banshees, he's really focused on harassment tactics, but as far as actually dealing with the STC's production capabilities, he really hasn't been able to accomplish a whole lot in that manner. So Select does have 1 siege tank up here, able to get some free shots, but the STC has one here as well, and it's guarding a lot of the high ground. So this is going to mean that he's going to be able to get a lot of good positioning. Oh man, but look at this, he's actually going to establish a beachhead right here by taking out this missile turret. Now the only thing stopping him from dropping is this 1 Viking, which might actually get taken here. I don't think it's going to be enough firepower to stop all these medevacs from dropping their forces, which you can see is forcing Select to come back here with the rest of its infantry. And now these Marines are running unchecked through Select's base. There's nothing that Select can do right now about it. He is finally getting his siege tanks up here. There are more units ready to be dropped by the medevac. Oh man, this is good play indeed from the STC, really taking advantage of the fact that he had that early expansion and just ran with it. You take a look at the rest of the map. He's got this one looking good. He's got this one, fully saturated. And he had all this coming down the line if this didn't even work. So just getting the expansion up, wearing your opponent down, stopping those little harassment. I really think that Select could have done a little bit more. in the way of actually putting pressure on his opponent and just stopping him from getting so many low-tier units. But that's just the way the game happened. So here we are in game number 3, which has gone to the STC. And let's go on to game number 4 and see how this series ends.